Warte, haben wir Sound? Okay, ein bisschen sogar doppelt. So, ja. Also das letzte, was passiert ist, Sakura ist gestorben. Also liegt tot in so einem Stuhl rum. Und wir müssen rausfinden, wer es gewesen ist. Wer ist's gewesen? Das müssen wir herausfinden. Ja, genau, da sind wir. Wir sind noch in dem Raum. Ich habe, glaube ich, ja, dieses komische Bonbonpapier hier einmal schon angeguckt gehabt. Und das hat sie irgendwie, ja, Sakura gegeben. Nachdem sie das Krankenschwesternzimmer verlassen haben. Und also wir steigen quasi direkt bam mitten ein. Ja. Reden wir erstmal auch mit allen. You already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko or Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she said she left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth, I heard it right from Sakura herself, and I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. This is what happened. If I stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. Hina. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. Okay, I always account. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the time and the place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly.
However,
but for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
it's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wondered, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right? Certainly, they wouldn't have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as a fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, thanks. Byakuya's account. Erster. Grüß dich, Chip. Hallöchen. Muss mal kurz gucken. Ich mach das mal kurz hier. Ich glaube, der Chat ist noch nicht richtig eingestellt, dass die Nachrichten nicht ausfaden. stelle halt immer hier um. Ist irgendwie ein bisschen dumm, aber naja, egal. Und ich muss mal ganz kurz eben... Ich habe mir wieder eine Kanne Tee gemacht. Ich muss mal eben fucking Teebeutel rausholen. Eine Kanne Tee zu haben ist einfach geil. Also wenn man so ein bisschen erkältet ist, es noch. Ob ich das jetzt weiterhin danach noch mache, ich glaube nicht. Ich trinke halt einen Tee immer nur, wenn ich erkältet bin. Aber ist dann halt auch ziemlich nice einfach. Immer wieder beide lecker Eisgetränk, ja. Nice. Kann man nichts mit verkehrt machen. Kann man nichts mit verkehrt machen. Ich trinke ja so gar keinen Kaffee, keine Ahnung. Überhaupt nicht meins. Also es schmeckt einfach scheußlich. Aber ich glaube, das ist auch so ein bisschen was man sich antrainieren muss. Kaffee trinken. Danganronpa zu humanen Zeiten? Unbelievable, ne? Unbelievable. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. Aber hier, das ist zum Beispiel auch dieses Ding. Also hier, ich habe gar keine Ahnung mehr, wer jetzt hier wen oder was umgebracht hat. Komplett gar keine Ahnung mehr. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
So,
Ja, leider mit Kaffee groß geworden. So mit Kaffee groß geworden. Schon mit im zarten Alter von 8 Jahren Kaffee getrunken oder was. It looks like a protein drink and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
wrong.
I wouldn't take that too hard if I were you. I demand my Pokémon. Ja, beschwert euch bei Safti. Alle Beschwerde-E-Mails müssen an Safti rausgehen, wenn dann. Der geht Fußball gucken. Stattdessen. Ins Stadion. Aber grüß dich auch da schon, grüß dich das denn. Mit ca. 4 bis 5 Jahren waren wir oft. Da gab es immer Kaffee. Alter, what the fuck? Also mit 4 bis 5 Jahren Kaffee zu trinken ist echt ein bisschen bedenklich. Als zuverlässiger Content Creator gibst du dich mit unzuverlässigen Leuten ab. Ja, ist so, ne? Ich glaube, wir brauchen einen neuen Softie. Einen, auf den man sich mehr verlassen kann. But still, this protein can... It got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all kinds of health stuff. 300 Stunden Skyrim sollten dir gut tun. Nee, ganz bestimmt nicht, ey. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What is?
Hey,
You see what's scattered around the chem? Shards of light blue gas. They must have been part of the window I broke to get inside. But they aren't scattered around the can, they are also underneath it. Why does that matter? I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it will become an important clue later on. Ja, das heißt, entweder die Glasscherben waren schon da drunter oder das Ding ist jetzt gerade da drauf gefallen auch. Wenn die Glasscherben da drunter liegen. Und wurde sich gewundert, warum es so hyperaktiv. Ja, stark, ey. Chip einfach beste Erziehung genossen. It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, it died around 12 hours, so roughly an hour ago. Die Muskelbraut hat sich selbst gekillt, GG. What was that when Kyoko and I were moving Alter Ego? Yeah, the locker's open, and they're on the inside. It's a handprint?
Why?
What's a handprint doing there? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker. And it left the handprint in all the dust.
True.
And it looks quite fresh too. I would say someone was hiding here in the locker, and they left behind a little something extra. Then maybe the killer hid here until the locked room was opened, don't you think? And during all the confusion they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not? Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Yeah. The locker was already open at that point, okay.
Indeed.
Ja. Ja, es war schon sarkastisch gemeint. So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? Vielleicht, dass sich jemand versteckt hat, bevor Sakura hier reingekommen ist. Das sind so lächerliche Beweise. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is how they get those figures inside the bottles.
So...
It's no different from your standard chip in a bottle, huh? You know, the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside. You never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have.
In other words...
Alle meine Freunde haben mich beneidet, die ich zwischendurch mal hatte. Ja, kommt immer drauf an, ne? Ist halt immer andere Perspektive. Du kannst genauso gut sagen, so von wegen so. Also nicht, dass es jetzt unbedingt auf dich zutrifft oder sowas, ne? Also sowas will ich jetzt gar nicht aussagen. Also. Du kannst genauso gut sagen, so, wo du so ein Kind dann siehst, also das in deinem Alter ist und hörst so, ja, ich darf so lange aufbleiben, wie ich will und bla bla und hast nicht gesehen und denkst du so selber als Kind früher, ja, scheiße, voll gemein, warum darf ich nicht so lange aufbleiben? Und dann, ja, dafür hast du dann halt einfach vielleicht Eltern, die es halt nicht so interessiert, was das Kind überhaupt macht, so. Aber naja, genug davon. Das ist kein leichtes Thema, würde ich sagen. So, this is a Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is red and they are the top and bottom sections of the bottle, right? So this must have originally been the bottle. Schwere Geschütze besprechen. Who are the criminal? Da stirbt jemand und der erste Logisch, was ich mache, meine Hand mit Kreide zu bemalen und alles zu betatschen. Ist ja keine Hand mit Kreide zu bemalen. Da war einfach nur ein Abdruck, weil der Schrank halt staubig ist. Oder du hast ja auch so einen Abdruck. Wenn du einen glatten Schrank anfasst, einfach so mit deiner Hand, dann hast du auch einen Abdruck. Glass shards on the floor has been added to the truth bullets section of your head. There's something on the ground near the door. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure on the floor. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. Ja, und das Glas auf dem Boden. Wow. Das heißt, das Glas verstand früher da oben. Genius! She probably started out as a bottle, which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of the glass and Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was a weapon. Das ist eigentlich gut zu verstehen. Du hast einen Mord an der Backe und du machst dann nur Scheiße, packst alles an, schmeißt Alkohol, kotzt in die Ecke. Am Ende weiß keiner, wo er anfangen soll oder wer jetzt wen gekillt hat. Ich glaube, wenn du das in echt machst, wo die Polizei dann wirklich untersucht, dann hast du damit nicht so gute Karten, wenn überall deine DNA quasi rumliegt. Und keine Ahnung. Das ist halt vielleicht dieses Ding so, wenn du alles zerstörst, es könnte vielleicht ganz gut sein, so, weil du dann vielleicht die Hinweise, die wirklich auf dich hindeuten, so quasi, damit dann verschleierst vielleicht, dass man die mehr übersieht, aber keine Ahnung. Man muss nur seine DNA ordentlich verstecken. Du hast gerade gesagt, du kotzt überall hin und scheißt in die Ecke. The same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines. Und da ist noch ein Blutfleck. There's a blood stain in the front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Sakura drew her last breath, sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious been evidence to the blow on the head Sakura suffered. Normally I wouldn't have any problem believing that that's what killed her, but according to the Monokuma file she also had vomited blood. Ja, da hat die wahrscheinlich hingespuckt, ne? And I can see the trace of blood on her lips for sure. So that would have caused her to vomit blood. The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Status of Sakura's body. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. Yakuya. However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I would call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. Das ist cool. Habe ich denn jetzt nicht alles untersucht quasi? Ach, die Tür. Tür. Hm? This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened of course when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from inside, not from the outside. Rec Room Door. So, jetzt müsste ich alles haben. In dem Zustand putze ich das nicht weg. Was? Aber das wird die gleiche Strategie, die dort gefahren wird im Spiel. Selbstmord, ganz klar. Ich komme immer noch nicht drauf klar. Worauf kommst du nicht klar? Chip, hä? Die Freundin von der Muskelbraut sieht irgendwie traurig aus. Die hält mir die ganze Zeit die Ohren voll. Well, Makoto, you're finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
So
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you will go in my place. She's decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go to talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Exit. Rausgehen jetzt. Those other 2 people probably went back to their rooms. Goku. Auf Muscle Sailor Moon komme ich nicht klar. Dass das eine Sie sein soll. Ach so. Gibt doch einige Frauen, die heutzutage so aussehen. Und das sagt ja. I press the doorbell. Ding dong. Taxis, glaubst du, etwa trauen dürfen? And after a few seconds. Huh? Who's there?
Who's there?
Und du zum. Sind sie schwarz oder braun? Oder Asiat? Was? Ich bin viel zu altmodisch, man konnte zu lieb, um das zu sein, was ich bin. The most negative aura I felt ever. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
So ein bisschen Bienen basteln. Minecraft. Have fun. Und alles andere ignorieren. What do you want? You said you wanted to talk to me about something. Talk. I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. Huh?
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about. Yakuya already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said too, didn't I? Guess no, it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So, you can tell me about it. Ja, und grüß dich, Vivi, ne? Hallöchen. I admit it, I did get the note. But I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. And Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as a fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Tokos Account. So, der andere war hier hinten. Yasuhiro. So eine schöne, aber ist schon halt schon ein bisschen älter, so schöne kleine Weihnachtspinguine auf der Tasse. Cute. I pressed the doorbell. And after a few seconds... What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I wanted to check on something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How do you know about that? Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogo told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that? Oh, well, when she asked me to meet her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, it is super suspicious. And you went and met with Sakura? No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious. The last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office.
Don't look at me.
I haven't seen her since. Well, while I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. He was feeling around in his pockets. Oh, sorry. Looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big, goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. When he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiros pocket. Das sieht wie ein Bonbon-Dingens aus. Süß, ich habe eine Tasse von Foxys A-Team. Von Dingens oder was? Drawn Together. Drawn Together war geil. Quick as the wind, Hero snatched it back up again and shoved it back into its pockets. Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash? Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I've never went. So, well, if you will excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hero quickly slipped back into his room. Hero said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Pocket trash. Ah, nicht die Foxy. Ach so. Okay. Ich dachte, ich war jetzt sofort bei Dingens, bei Drawn Together. I definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again. But on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So where should I start? Wie will ich ermordet haben? Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes sir, I understand. Geh mir halt noch härter auf den Sack, ey, weißt du? Erstmal die Kamera und den Bildschirm anklicken, die nichts mit irgendwas zu tun haben. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. Should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. Aber man, hier schmeiße ich bald weg. Überall lese ich englische Texte, verstehe sie sogar, aber Englisch schreiben oder sprechen bekomme ich gar nicht gebacken. Konnte es mal so gut. Hilft nur üben. Wie verständige ich mich denn jetzt am 15., wenn ich den Franzosen wieder sehe? Das weiß ich jetzt leider auch nicht. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it, C4. Das ist anscheinend Gift. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning, checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled. That's right, it could have only been around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Source of the powder has been added to the truth bullets. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I better not leave a footprint. Aber was ist mit diesen Footprints? These are footprints? They are only in the front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an unsufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen. Well, let's go, chop chop. Okay. So I got to work, and before long I drawn up a sketch of the room. So how is this? Not bad for you, I mean. For me? When you look at it like this, it's interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business with the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints are telling me.
I see.
These footprints must be...
Certainly
No code. Are they yours? No.
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit, these are not your footprints. Unfortunately? But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. And these prints are really a valuable clue. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered in front on the floor. In front of the shelf on the floor. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled with Chem C4. Also, it looks like someone left some footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Footprint in the powder. Let's see what's on this shelf. There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I consider this part of shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait. There's one bottle here that's labeled with Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? So on this shelf, it looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They are reagents, but put simply, they are used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. Have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kinda harsh? What, you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world? The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. Other containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here, in which case I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. On this shelf, one look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and powerful chemicals. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section C. I should try and find out more about the shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has the dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A there was a bottle with the label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on here. Chem lab shelf. Already taking a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another round. Look around the chem lab. The rec room. Okay, ich kann anscheinend gerade nicht teleportieren. Leave the area.
Hey.
So Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me. I see. So along with Byakuya, they are both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying.
Anyway.
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines and the Monokuma bottles. These rings have revealed new clues. You do well to look them over one more time. Ja, es war eine Bottle. Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new. Die Figuren da drinnen sind unterschiedliche Figuren, aber...
Hey.
So did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it. A correlation, Hey Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is? I don't mind guiding you toward clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions, so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer? I do trust you to a degree, otherwise I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree. Monokuma bottles.
Hey.
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
Anyway.
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces too. Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
Doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that Obonaicious? Oder wie spricht man da aus? Keine Ahnung. Byakuya's not here, so anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up the glass. Anxious und Obonaicious? Keine Ahnung. With that, Kyoko left. I don't really know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I better just do it. I took the broom and the dustpan and got to work, collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up, sorry to keep you waiting.
So then.
Is everything ready? Then let's go to work. So what kind of experiment are we doing?
In other words.
Kaffee läuft endlich. Ein Kippchen und ich bin glücklich. Gönn dir. I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. What do you want to do? That's the point of the experiment. It will make sense when we're done.
Listen.
First, let's compare the weight of two normal Monokuma bottles. They're the same, it's balanced.
In other words.
Which means each Monokuma bottle's weight's about the same. Which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same and nothing else could really affect the weight.
So then.
Now here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they are balanced out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
So then.
Okay, then let's give it a try. Die Teile sind schwerer. Ja, liebe Kinder, macht den Lebensstil von diesem Mod bitte nicht nach. Es ist höchst gesundheitsschädigend und selbstzerstörerisch. Das ist korrekt. Nicht rauchen, liebe Kinder, nicht rauchen. Rauchen ist ganz ungesund. Kann es sein, dass der Cam jetzt irgendwie anders aussehe als am Anfang des Streams? Irgendwie ein bisschen lila-mäßiger. Ein bisschen dunkler geworden. Noch was los, müsste okay sein, oder? Huh. The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. What? Hier wird ein Zombie. Nee, noch nicht.
In other words.
Results of our experiment and the correlation between the bottles. Put it all together and I believe you will arrive at one very perceived conclusion. What do you think? It's all on you. Dass vielleicht nicht eine Bottle fehlt, sondern zwei. Dass du die Scherben legen von zwei Bottles. Wäre jetzt eine Vermutung. Ich meine, du siehst ja auch direkt von hier aus quasi 2 Lücken. Something new, something new.
Hey,
It's a hidden correlation. Weil du hast hier Bauer, Turm, Läufer und König. Also bräucht's halt noch Königin und Springer. Aber auf dem Boden liegt nur eine Figur, ne? Und auch nur ein Deckel und ein Dingens. I don't know what the polyps have in common, and I don't understand the results of the experiment. Comparing the weight of the broken bottle pieces to a completely intact Monokuma bottle, the broken pieces were clearly heavier. What does that mean?
so
Results of our experiment and the correlation between the each. Put it all together, and I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion.
in other words. Hey,
The experiment showed that the pieces of glass on the floor were heavier than the intact Monokuma. Yeah. There's apparently an important secret hidden there. Ja, und jetzt? Ich weiß nicht, was ich anklicken soll, um quasi das zu lösen. Was wäre das hier? Resident Evil müsste man Figuren suchen, ja, wahrscheinlich. I already know who did it. Ja, okay.
just a second. Hey,
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although there are still sometimes I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
it's true.
That's totally mal. Then how can you?
So
I imagine it's because I have had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind. More importantly, look here. Her shoes.
correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
Bei Nacht mit keine lebhaften Träumen. Ist doch gut. Hast du auch heute mal mehr geschlafen? Länger geschlafen? Nicht nur 3 Stunden? So ist auf dem Schuh, da ist der Mörder. That powder is clue number 1. Yellow powder has been added to the truth bullets.
Hey.
Next is the bound to her head. Look
It's true.
carefully. Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot, so let me just explain.
It would seem
Aber erst nach nicht so tollem Mischkonsum. Was? Would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow. Instead, she received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? There's one more interesting thing. Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. Kyoko's examination summary. Can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. Habe ich immer noch nicht alle Clues? Bin ich jetzt nicht fertig
In
endlich?
other words. Hey,
Wir gehen immer noch das durch, wenn ich das da anklicke. Ja. Aber die Scherben hat er aufgehoben. Die Scherben liegen ja nicht mehr da. Was kann ich denn noch machen, außer die Dingens da anklicken? Nicht zu enthusiastisch vorlesen. Nee. Mach ich nicht, keine Sorge. Something new, something new. Ich weiß es schon, aber kann halt nichts machen, als die Dinger immer wieder neu anklicken.
So, indeed.
Ja, what do you think? It's all on you, ja. Wie soll ich das jetzt bestätigen?
Why?
What's the handprint doing there? Das haben wir auch schon gemacht.
Hey,
Ja, der Locker war bereits offen.
indeed.
Guck mal, hier ist noch was. This magazine is upside down. Miss Muscle appears. Did someone put it back that way on accident? If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. Guck mal. Da steht irgendwie Toko steht da drin. Warum auch immer. This is all of the pages near the center of the magazine. A word had been written in bloody letters, and it said Toko. Could this be a dying message?
Correct.
Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, it is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message.
However,
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that there's Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If not anything, it makes me much more suspicious. Magazine Dying Message. Ding dong. Da, so, jetzt habe ich endlich alles, ey. Ich brauche ein neues Tässchen Tee. Einer auf dem Magazincover ist eine Frau, die hat ein Frauengesicht, nicht so wie Muscle Sailor Moon. Findet euer PB-Race cool? Wie jetzt? Meinst du einfach nur, dass wir neue PB haben wollen? Oder was? Fabi liegt vor, du ziehst nach. Ja, mal schauen. Mal schauen, wie es morgen läuft. Ich hoffe, dass ich morgen eine neue hinkriege, ey. Sonst rast ich aus. Fabi hat Sub 21, echt? Oh, was ein scheiß Wichser. Gerade eben gemacht. Was ein scheiß Wichser.
Whoops, you caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring, I couldn't stay
Was hatten wir
awake.
jetzt genau für eine Zeit? Dö.
Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I?
Ich dachte, heute gibt's Pokémon. Ja, leider nicht. Frag Safti. Beschwerden an Safti weiterleiten. Warte. Na, scheiße. Falsch. Kurz gucken. Was haben wir denn hier? Was steht denn hier drinnen? Fucking Safti, ey. Ganz schlechter Typ, ey. Ganz schlechter Typ. Should I do it? Can I?
Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
Das ist korrekt, Lidl. Das ist korrekt. It's already time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. So intelligent der Typ, ey. Krasser Typ. Monokuma made his announcement, and everyone began to meet up, one after another. And then... the ultimate martial artist and a locked room murder mystery. What the... I've just recently discovered the power of emoticons. Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss it in a smiley face, it turns positive. For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body, XD. This is just plain creepy.
Well?
And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put in a sad face, it makes it look super negative. For example, do you have 100 friends? He's right. That doesn't make it seem sad.
I can't wait!
Now then, please get on the elevator. I see you all down there. What the hell was that? I don't get it.
Just the worst.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at me!
I don't think I'm acting.
Don't be mean!
I mean, I didn't murder anyone. I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer?
What the heck?
Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit. The killer, that one that murdered. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet someone killed her. That person is here, that person is one of us. Ja, jetzt kommt wieder a deadly conclusion, a deadly, was weiß ich nicht und irgendwas, bla. Chief step, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the door close and felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower, and as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again. Just the six of you, huh? Really? That's so few. You must be so lonely. You say like that like it's not your fault that we're all that's left. I wonder, will the class trial end with one last classmate, or will your school life come to an end completely? Now then, are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. Ja, das meine ich, Deadly Betrayal, Deadly irgendwas, deine Mutter, Deadly. Ich glaube nicht, dass ich irgendwelche neuen Skills habe, also ich habe garantiert keine neuen Skills, weil ich habe ja nichts gemacht in der Free Time. Also können wir einfach Finish Preparations machen und rein da. So, da fragt Makoto noch, dass man irgendjemanden am Mord auffindet. Ja, ich weiß auch nicht. Ich weiß auch nicht.
So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Ja, alles wie immer.
Now then, where to begin?
We already know who did it.
Whoa, deja vu.
The one who killed Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you.
Idiot.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I'd never kill someone. No way.
I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
Hina seems really sure that one of these three is the killer. But she must have some reason for believing that. Jetzt geht's schon los, ey.
It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you have for saying so?
Because you all had a motive. You hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have her accusing?
Nope, ist nicht die only reason. Nicht der einzige Grund.
Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those three killed her.
I can't disagree with Hina. There's a good reason to suspect all the three of them. Then does it mean one of them did it? Okay. Footprints in the body, Sakura's... Stills of Sakura's body, pocket trash.
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet
Ist
with
bestimmt
all
selber
three of them,
umgebracht. Keine
there's no
Ahnung.
way that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her.
I didn't either.
Yeah, same here. I never saw her.
Come on. There's no way none of you went. At least one of you is lying.
Ich glaube, das Argument von Dingens, also Yasuhiro, dass der sagt, der hat ihn nicht.
I didn't.
Yeah, same here.
Ja, wegen dem Pocket Trash.
Kira, when we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It was white with red polka dots.
What's that got to do with anything?
Red polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No, it's.
Ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally
Bidin, bim,
monopolized
bim.
that entire box of candy.
Bidin-dim-dim.
So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
In that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
From Sakura. It's the only explanation.
Aber neben Sakura lag doch auch so ein Dingens, oder wie viel Candy hat sie ihr gegeben, ist die Frage.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure I got it from her, but she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
When? When did she give it to you?
The last time you saw Sakura was when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then.
But what Hiro said can't be right, because Sakura could only gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. And the reason I know that... And Sakura got that candy. Hiro got the candy.
I got it! I'm not sure about that, Hiro.
Der Typ hat eine coole Frisur. Hat der mit dem, keine Ahnung, afromäßigen
Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office.
Kann ich leider nicht, dafür sind meine Haare nicht lang genug.
So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
Damn it!
Jetzt sind irgendwie so Dreads, ne? Also so Dreads, aber so in alle Richtungen irgendwie.
I mean, what I meant was, Oh, that's right! I did meet up with her in the rec room.
Ja, ich glaube auch nicht. Ich glaube auch nicht, dass das funktioniert. Also wenn dann halt mit viel weniger Dreads quasi. Aber so viele never ever, ey.
Why the sudden hostility?
Well, we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything, you gotta believe me.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
More hostile.
It's not just normal hostility. You're the real culprit. I even have proof.
Huh? Proof? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about
Einfach in die
shining
Steckdose
message.
fassen. Der Shining Message. Was? What would a Shining Message even be?
At the scene of the crime, she had written out Toko in her own blood, right?
Woher weiß er das jetzt plötzlich? Das ist die Frage, die ich mir gerade stelle. Er kriegt da sonst auch nie irgendwas mit.
It was her dying message. Just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka.
That's true. I saw it for myself.
See? See? Toko did it!
What are you saying? No way!
Einfach so in die Steckdose fassen ist vielleicht nicht ganz so gesund.
You just don't know when you're beat, do ya?
Hiro, hold on. When did you see that dying message of hers?
Huh? Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh.
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime. So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself.
Ja, es gibt davon irgendwie so ein GIF oder so, Alter. Oder irgendwie sowas. Ja. Wahrscheinlich hat Dö das selbst aufgenommen. Das habe ich mit 12 irgendwann mal gesehen. Ja, geht mir ähnlich. Geht mir ähnlich. So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself. Huh? But when Kyoko found the magazines with the dying message in it was on the magazine
I
shelf.
got it! Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it. I found it right there at the scene of the crime, after we'd started the investigation.
If that's true, then what Hiro just said doesn't really make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense.
Everything I said makes perfect sense. No, there's an obvious problem with what Hiro said before. Die geile Mucke, ey.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
The ogre's body was
I
discovered.
can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
Weiß gerade nicht ganz genau, womit ich den quasi.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
Nee, okay. Ich hab Blödsinn. What's wrong? Ja.
I can tell you exactly when I found
Niggas
the
are dying
dying
message.
message. When Ogre's body was discovered. Shoot. I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
Ich glaube, dann muss ich das andere hier. Da, den Magazine Shelf.
When I pulled it out,
What I said makes total sense.
I can tell you exactly when Ogre's body was discovered.
Ja, das verstehe ich jetzt wieder nicht. Jetzt habe ich quasi wieder nicht getroffen, warum auch immer. Das verstehe ich manchmal nicht.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying when Ogre's body was discovered.
Da, okay. Das ist wirklich das Magazine Shelf, aber irgendwie komisch. Du willst halt irgendwie einen Zeitpunkt sagen und das, was du sagen musst, ist, ja, es war auf dem Magazin Shelf.
That's where Kyoko found it, after we'd begun the investigation. And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then. Tell us the truth, hero. When did you see the message?
Hold on. You're focusing on the wrong part. Why does it matter when I saw it? All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know who the killer is. Toko!
I don't even know where to begin with that one. He's just trying to confuse us.
Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
Yeah? I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message. 100%, without a doubt, she wrote it. And this is me talking, so you know it's true.
Oh, this is me talking, so you know it's true. Alter, dieser Typ, ne, der ist so bescheuert. No, absolutely do doubt it. There's no way Sakura wrote that message. Also er sagt jetzt direkt, nee, das bestimmt gar nicht die Möglichkeit, dass Sakura die Nachricht selbst geschrieben hat. Aber warum? Also warum sagt er jetzt direkt so, das ist gar keine Möglichkeit so? Oh nee, jetzt kommt wieder die Scheiße, oder was?
Show me the proof. Can't hear you, can't hear you. The occult is bullcrap. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Can't hear you, can't hear you. Give it a rest. The end is nigh. The occult is bullcrap. Show me the proof.
Mein Gott, ich hab so gut gestartet, ne? Ich hab so gut gestartet. Und dann wieder am Ende so verkackt. Diese Negative-Scheiße bringt mich einfach raus. Kann ich nicht auch einfach irgendwie so ein Special aktivieren? Das ging doch irgendwie, aber ich weiß halt nicht mehr wie. Keine Ahnung. Irgendeine scheiß Taste.
Show me the proof. Can't hear you, can't hear you. The occult is bullcrap. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Can't hear you, can't hear you.
Alter, das war jetzt perfekt.
Show me the proof.
This should prove it.
Das war jetzt perfekt, Alter. Wir haben eine Combo von 80 gemacht oder so. Was ging jetzt ab? Was ging jetzt ab?
That Sakura wrote that dying message. Because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger. But both of her hands were completely free of blood.
Ja, stimmt, ja. Das stimmt natürlich irgendwo.
Say what?
Say what?
Then who did write it?
Hiro could very well have written it himself.
Jedes Nein. Als Denkfinder, ja. Ist korrekt. Der hat ja auf die Gewissen, hat wohl einen Korb bekommen.
That would explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Ah! He admits it!
I figured as much.
But why would you write something like that?
Because I killed her!
Because I killed her! Also einfach direkt so, ich hab sie getötet.
Please, just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
You just did exactly as the
Wenn er das schon so sagt, dann hat er die nicht wirklich getötet, sondern irgendwie er gibt sich nur die Schuld.
And when I got there,
Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple of other people to meet as well. Okay. Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy. Yo, sure, thanks.
that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence. Suddenly, I heard her mutter something.
This is it. I'm going to end it today. I'm going to end
I
everything.
heard that. I just knew. I knew she was gonna try and kill me. She was gonna kill me and make her escape. So of course I freaked out, and then I saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head. I hit her from behind before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table and I ran away.
I can't believe you! You're the worst! I hope you die!
Und was ist mit dem Blut, das da lag? Und was ist mit den zweiten Flasche? Und was ist mit dem, wie hast du die Tür
Go
verschlossen?
ahead. Roast me, boil me, do whatever you want.
You're not gonna get off that easy. It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura. We're ready to vote now, right? We know who did it.
No, I think there's more to Hiro's story.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain. And until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed.
So what is it that Hiro did that doesn't make sense? That the magazine was hidden?
I got it! That's true. Everything you just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it? By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf. Why would you take the time to write that message, then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Oh, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying! He's gotta be lying!
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already confessing to the crime.
Then he's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf. In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
I don't think there's any question about that.
But then, who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
Someone who wouldn't like that. There's only one choice, Toko.
I got it! It had to be Toko, right?
What?
Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Was he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room? Why would I have... Wait! But more important, that doesn't even matter! We already know who did it, right? Hiro just admitted it!
That's right. I killed her.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
Who asked you?
No doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case ends.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
You can't be serious! That's just... I don't believe it!
I don't
Hiro,
believe it.
Tell us what happened one more time. If we
Ja,
go
du hast sie
through
mit
it
der
once
Flasche
more,
geschlagen und daran ist sie
she'll
halt nicht
become clear
gestorben,
he's
Alter.
not Sakura's killer.
So, what do you want me to do?
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
I don't really see why, but okay.
We haven't reached the end of the case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer, and I have to prove that. Yellow powder, status of Sakura's body.
I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
Nee, okay. Aber dann könnte auch das schon sein mit Status of Body, weil ich weiß, die wurde doch zweimal geschlagen, oder nicht?
I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once. After the first swing, the bottle shattered, and she went limp.
See? Isn't it obvious? Hiro really is the killer!
Ja, die ist just once, stimmt halt nicht.
Grabbed a Monokuma and I hit Ogre from behind.
You hit her from and you only hit her.
Yeah,
Just once.
Okay, das war's nicht.
Shoot!
Welche Bullet habe ich jetzt
Didn't
benutzt?
want to, but
Okay, dann muss das hier sein, ne?
I grabbed a Monokuma and I
Examination
hit Ogre
summary.
from behind.
You hit her from and you only hit her.
Yeah.
just once.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
If Sakura died from Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
Huh? 2?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby.
As a hobby.
I'm inclined to believe it.
Also, and remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's
Es fehlt
something
2
very
Flaschen.
suspicious about those bottles. Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used. Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf,
Din, din, din,
right?
din.
And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chest piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
Mhm.
How
How can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
The correlation between the Monokuma bottles feels like it's starting to become clear. That connection must be the Hangman's Gambit. Nee. Ich weiß nicht, ich habe keine Ahnung, was das Wort sein soll jetzt gerade. Aber wahrscheinlich ein C. C. Chess. Chess, P. Chess, P. Ah, Peace, ne? Das war's. Chess Peace.
Now I understand.
Ich wusste das Wort gerade nicht.
That's it. The chess pieces. Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
Mhm.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found, the knight, if I remember.
The Knight.
So, what's that
Also fehlt die
mean,
Queen.
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn. What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4. And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while one apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Yeah, Shogi is way better.
Yeah.
Dieser Typ, ey.
Wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case. That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No. It's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
It was broken.
I got it! The bottle must have been broken.
What makes you so sure?
Because there
Weil
was
die
evidence at the
Scherben
scene.
mehr Gewicht haben als eine Flasche.
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
It wasn't just a single broken bottle. It was things.
I got it! Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles. And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
From this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces. Which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
But why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
There can be no doubt about the second missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. It must have been used by Sakura's first attacker, Sakura's second attacker, keine Ahnung. Das weiß ich halt jetzt nicht. First attacker, second attacker? Wahrscheinlich second. Sonst würde der ja schon hätten da schnell schon Scherben gelegt.
The scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Wait! I admit, maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am. Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the rec room.
You did?
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room.
Ja, die hat sich also da im Schrank versteckt.
I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in.
Und dann ist sie reingegangen und Toko war nicht da.
Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
And you just now decided to share that with us?
After the shock of thinking I killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
Somewhere to hide. Like the locker.
Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous. Whoa. Why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
No, it's not ridiculous at all. There's definitely proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room. A new element had been added to the bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. So far, you've probably been pressing the left mouse button during your final strike without a second thought. But from now on, you're gonna have to pay a little extra attention to your finishing blow. Now you will have to choose the proper truth bullet to use during your cup dig race. You select it the same way as during the non-stop debate. Simply pressing Q or the mouse wheel, okay. Okay, ja, verstehe ich. Well then, good luck, get fun. Jetzt kommt wieder die Scheiße, ey. Das scheiß Rhythmuskacke.
It's a lie. I hate you. Shut up. No. It's a lie. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie. That's enough. It's a lie. I hate you. Shut up. No. It's a lie. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie. That's enough.
Was? Ja, ich will das auswählen, aber ich komme nicht dahin! Boah, ist das zum Kotzen, ey. Boah, ich hasse dieses Spiel manchmal. Vor allem, dass die Zeit dann noch weiterlaufen, ne? Du drückst fucking nochmal Q, das taucht auf, aber ich kam nicht nach unten auf das scheiß andere Dingen. Und ich hatte gar nicht Zeit wirklich das zu lesen, was überhaupt da ist. Nein, ich will's nicht. Ah, ich hasse es, ey.
It's a lie. I hate you.
Wer auch immer gerade. Dankeschön. Ich guck gleich, ja. Ich habe gerade.
It's a lie. That's enough.
This should prove it.
So, locker Handprint. Meine Güte. Die Jessie. Jetzt schon wieder? Hast du nicht erst letztes Mal noch ein Abo geschenkt bekommen? Hast du nicht erst letztes Mal noch ein Abo geschenkt bekommen? Aber Dankeschön. Dankeschön für 9 Monate. Dankeschön. Joho. No. Ja, der Handprint. Ja, schon wieder einen Monat her. Nee, kommt mir gar nicht so vor, ey. Kommt mir gar nicht so vor. Es geht so schnell alles. Die Zeit vergeht rasend.
Does his handprint look familiar, Toko?
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Jesus, Alter.
Okay
Wie die
then.
da hängt.
Let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up, right?
Ist halt echt so. Zeit vergeht rasend.
Stop wasting my
Immer.
time.
Also
Just tell us
als
the
ist
truth.
das Jahr, keine Ahnung, die letzten 2 eigentlich auch, oder? Corona. Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
It's my handprint.
Dang, she just straight up admitted it.
Then you killed Sakura. No, I swear, there's no way.
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
I probably did kill her.
Again.
Wait, what do you mean probably?
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
Talk. Now.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on. So I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message.
Well, that's awkward.
Well, that's awkward.
After you left, I jumped out of the locker.
Aber um nochmal zum Thema zurückzukommen, nichts geht über Omas von Hand aufgebrühten Kaffee. Nicht die Mist aus dem Supermarkt genommen. Frisch gemahlene Bohnen vom Kiosk. Und die Tasche roch noch monatelang danach. Ja, geil. Ja, geil.
And put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back
Oma ist die Beste.
upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura? After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around, there was Sakura covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw all that blood, I fainted right there in front of the magazines. I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you have to ask her.
Her, you mean?
Guess who's back?
Guess who's back?
It was your fault after all.
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories. So I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see... Splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that.
Die geschwollene Persönlichkeit ist korrekt.
And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked
which I guess was
I
important.
was just worried about you, and you're terrible.
Ich muss gerade denken, als ich einen Kiosk gesucht habe. Das ist bei den Späti, ja. Überall heißt es Kiosk, nur in Berlin nicht. Aber Späti sind ja auch meistens so 24/7 Läden, oder? Ich habe keine Ahnung.
No, she's terrible. Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever.
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman. If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master.
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack, no problem.
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Hey, come on. That's, you know. But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre. So that's good.
So that's good. Keep talking like that and Hina's gonna...
Well then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
Yeah, I thought for sure you would have some words for Hiro from that one.
Come on, everyone, we're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
No,
Let's do this.
not quite yet.
Huh? Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd. Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it.
It was.
Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
What?
Wish is my command, darling.
It's not over yet, is it? The one who killed Sakura is... Make your arguments.
I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
You were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
Maybe is the second attack from Toguro was really the killing blow.
I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
You were taken by surprise. So you smashed her head.
You got it!
And where did the attack?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
No, it's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Das will ich drüber nachdenken, das war
Found
scheiße.
Sakura sitting upright in a chair.
Das war unser letzter.
If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
Noticed.
That's just another lie from a
Was musst du denn da machen, Nemi?
serial killer.
Geht gerade darum rauszufinden, wer der Mörder ist. Und du musst halt, keine Ahnung, so ein bisschen drauf achten, was die sagen. Und musst halt dann so, keine Ahnung, du hast halt diese, gerade hast du vielleicht gesehen, diese komischen Kugeln da. Und die sind geladen mit einfach mit Argumenten halt. Und dann musst du halt auf die richtigen Sachen quasi, die richtig als falsch hinlegen quasi. Mit den richtigen Beweisen. Also insgesamt versuche ich einen Mordfall aufzuklären. Just another body.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
The ultimate no, it's wronger.
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
This has to be the evidence that proves there was an attack in front of the magazine shelf.
I got it!
I got it.
Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The blood stain by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained. Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
Hier durchstehen auch die Haare zu
That
bilden.
part's easy. After she killed
Ja, so eine geile Frise hätte ich auch gerne.
in the locker again.
So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
The reason there's no way Toko was hiding in the locker is because I saw it for myself.
I got it!
The locker
Even
was
before we
open.
opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside.
Mit meinem derzeitigen Pilzkopf ganz zufrieden. Pilzkopf.
And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know. What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not.
Thank you very
I've
much.
been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
Der Sweet Lou, Dankeschön für den Look. Aber auch eine neue Haarfarbe, echt. Was denn diesmal? Und wo sind die Fotos? Didn't die from a shoot to the head here.
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
That's because you're overlooking vital information.
Could we really be missing something so important? If there's another possible explanation, maybe it's... Das Yellow Powder. Burgunderrot. Ja, nice.
If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head. So you're dead set on blaming me, huh?
Nee. Ja, komm.
What was it that killed Ogre?
Was habe ich denn hier?
It wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack.
Damn message. Yellow Powder.
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
Nee. Dann wahrscheinlich einfach den Dingens. Ne?
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide
Das
Jill's
ist meine Kuma-Pfeil.
There's no other what killed Sakura. I can't think of anything.
Ja.
No, it's wrong.
No, it's Raum. Sylvan wollte mich als Modell. Das habe ich aber wohin.
According to the Monokuma
Keine Ahnung.
file,
Discord?
Sakura had vomited blood.
Vielleicht. Spam oder so. Ist ja kein Ding. I vomited blood.
We can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any
Okay,
cuts
spam
inside
mal.
her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are
Mach
into
das.
dead bodies.
Alle drei da.
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Gift.
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
So there can be no mistake.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
The bottle of poison Byakuya just showed us. I'm sure I know where he got it. Section 8.
I got it! The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? You just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange,
Yes.
isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Byakuya put the bottle of poison to his lips and...
Master!
We were so shocked at what we were seeing, all we could do is stand there and watch. But as if it were the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was as calm as ever.
Ugh, that tastes awful.
Ja, sie wollte sich noch melden, aber ich habe nicht so viel Zeit. Die wollte mich für eine Fashion Show. Ja, geil, mach. Gönn. Sieht auf jeden Fall eine krasse Farbe aus. Und Chip einfach mit Topfschnitt oder was?
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Steht hier das mit dem Bildskopf, ja. You have to drink some water. You can't just swallow the powder. It will stick to your throat.
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Finde ich verrückt. Ja. Jetzt random drumherum geschnippelt. Hauptsache aus dem Nacken bohren.
I'm talking about the protein.
Mensch, ey.
Protein? Can I see that bottle for a second?
Oh, sure. Do whatever you like.
Kyoko took the bottle from Byakuya and scraped out a bit of the contents with one finger. She touched her finger to her tongue.
It's protein powder.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder.
Was denn? Sprich dich aus. Ja, mach dir eine ordentliche Frisur, Mensch.
Poison that should have been in that
Nicht einfach so rumschnibbeln.
Where did it go?
Oder wenigstens mit einem Rasierer oder so. Mensch. Poison, where did it go? The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder, which would mean that conversely the poison must have been in... Could it be? mag den Style. Sieht rebellisch aus. Proteindrink. Und rebellisch gegen Friseure und Frisuren. Ah, Mensch. Was soll ich da noch sagen?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Das wird auf mit Seitenschritt.
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's
What?
all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For
Wer
real?
weiß das?
Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
Ja, die Fußspuren.
I got it! The footprints left behind in front of the shelf.
Das sind super Freunde. Ja, ist doch gut.
That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab.
Ich müsste eigentlich öfter zum Friseur gehen, bin immer nur viel zu faul.
They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of section A,
Seit einem Jahr
where I
nicht
found
mehr.
the bottle meant for the poison.
Junge. Ja, aber wenn du wachsen lassen willst, kannst du auch machen. Kannst du auch machen.
The culprit must have gone to section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now.
Trotzdem einen
Then
Schnitt
we'll see
reinbringen,
who-
ja, vielleicht.
It was
Homeoffice Styles.
me. The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
China?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
That Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Was, die hat echt Sakura gekillt, ey. What? Kann die so behindert sein, ey. Ich feiert meinen Style. Lange Haare, Schnauzer, Hemd- und Hosenträger. Einfach der Dad.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Sneakers, huh? The only people wearing them. Makoto und Hina.
I got
Ja,
it!
deswegen hat er meine Schuhe direkt
Me
überprüft.
and Hina are the only Hina. That explains why you...
These footprints must be... Are they yours? Okay, then let me see your shoes to confirm
If the
them.
footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility. Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... The two of them were so close.
Aber ich glaube, das heißt jetzt, dann nehme ich dann ja auch einfach, die hat das dann freiwillig getrunken, die Sakura. Die Sakura hat sich gesagt, ja, okay, ich trinke das freiwillig und hat dann selbst den Stuhl vor die Tür auch gemacht und so. Damit Hina. Ja. Genau deswegen.
Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Kosackel. Farben und helle Stellen, oder?
Is it true?
Is it
Did
true?
you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein thing. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it all at once. And
Hold it. I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
Nichts Zocken vergessen.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism.
Klickt nicht Hashtag Werbung. Was?
But there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Ein Balken Netz auf dem Handy. Das ist schlecht. Ja, das ist
Are you
schlecht.
talking about the locked room problem?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
well, that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that?
Also im Endeffekt heißt es jetzt doch, die hat sich selbst gekillt dann, oder was?
Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Trotzdem 1 Stunde Gameplay, um das offensichtlich aufzudecken. Ja, come on. Hätte auch noch anders sein können, also. Der Panjo, danke für den Lurk.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit.
Ja, die Sakura wollte einfach, dass die Hina entkommt.
There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away, I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder. And that's where I switched them.
Das kann schon nicht stimmen, weil die direkt zum Section A gegangen ist und wieder weg und nicht zu Section C vorhin.
Once I was done with that,
Das sieht man nämlich in den Fußspuren.
I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And
That story you just told.
Todes.
First
It's
you
not
went
true.
to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
yeah.
Ist halt so das Spielprinzip. Naja. But if that's correct, isn't that a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events once?
Mein Gott, ey.
You're being awfully pushy.
Sag doch einfach, das kann so nicht
No
stimmen.
matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
How long? Until I figure it out. Until I cover the full truth of this case. Footprints in the powder.
First I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section A.
No, that's wrong.
Wann kommt der Boot to the Head? Ja, es kommt. Ja, da war dann Boot to the Head. Nur ohne
You said
den
you went to
symbolischen
get the
Boot halt.
poison from Section C. And that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
Weil die Dingens hat ja auch das Pulver auf Fuß. Also das heißt einfach, die war da, hat das getauscht, hat dabei das Dingens verschüttet und dann ist sie nachher gekommen und hat den Proteindrink geholt.
After that, you said you moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
Nehmen wir mal Dark Tide.
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
So I didn't notice our left footprint.
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Well,
You lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section A. So you never went to Section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved Section A.
Well,
you see,
What the hell? What's going on here?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account.
What?
Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
There
Are
can't
you
be.
sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me. It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this.
Piece of
It
glass.
had sunk to the bottom of the bottle. And the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you.
Stell dir vor, der hätte
Thank you for that.
die scheiß Scherbe jetzt mitgetrunken, Alter. Ja, gönn dir.
But what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then. Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Huh? Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
The shard of glass. The rec room window.
I got it! It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that...
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
Where was it the bottle of poison should have been when I broke through the rec room window?
I got it!
Section A on the
The
shelf.
bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina? And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab.
So, also Hina hat es da hingelegt oder so.
Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there.
Wahrscheinlich, um nicht direkt zu sagen, so von wegen, dass Sakura sich einfach selbst umgebracht hat und dass dieses Gift halt in der richtigen Flasche in der Hand hatte.
That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside. If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Me either.
Same here. Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
The reason she can say that is because there's evidence. There's proof that someone brought the protein can to the rec room after it was opened. Was auf dem Glas lag.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be. It was in there before the rec room was unlocked.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying
Wird einfach mal das Empty Cover unlocken.
No. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be. It would.
Okay, das war richtig. No, it's wrong! Geile Mucke, ne?
You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What a...
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it...
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it? As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
If that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is...
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already. Sorry. Please, tell us.
Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
What do you think, Makoto?
The one, ja. Sakura.
I got it! I think
Sakura hat sich das Gift selbst geholt.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying!
You're lying!
Why would you lie like that?
No, it's not a lie. Sakura definitely went to Section C. I have to get Hina to admit that. Da kommt jetzt wieder so ein Ding ins... Boah, Junge, ey.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Just let it end already! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Just let it end already! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! I'm telling you, I did it! I hate you!
Mann, ich komme durcheinander.
What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Just let it end already! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you!
Failed, ja. Wrong, 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 liar, liar, wrong, 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 liar, I hate you. Boah, Alter. Das ist so eine Scheiße, ey. Ja. Ich kam irgendwann voll aus dem Rhythmus raus.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Just let it end already! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Just let it end already! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! telling you, I did it! I hate you!
Oh.
Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
Mann.
This should prove it.
Oh, Gott sei Dank. Ey. Ich dachte, ich komme wieder zu spät für die Scheiß. Da habe ich schon fast wieder vergessen, dass ich am Ende dann nur noch die richtige Scheiß Bullet ausruhen muss.
Did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Over's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did
Die einfach im Auge, ja.
visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No! It was me! The poison! Because I killed her!
No, you didn't kill her.
The one that killed Sakura. The betrayed connection between Sakura and the poison. The unsolved mystery of the locked room. There is only one way to explain it. Select someone.
Here's my answer.
Got it. Sie hat sich selbst gekillt.
The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went.
Jetzt müssen wir gleich noch unser Comicbuch da zusammenflicken, ey. Ah, ey.
Also, she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room.
Because of course, Sakura wanted to create the locked room.
I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina? You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door, because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were.
I have to get them. I have to get the others. Shake your legs, Hina left the rec room.
You said you were going to go get everyone else, but your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it? Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room...
Oh, she's dead, huh? Sakura's been killed, I see.
While everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
No! I killed her! I did it!
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is! Actually, no. You're right. We have to end this properly.
Oh, jetzt kommt die Scheiße. Ah. Bim, bim, bim. Ich wollte gerade sagen, hier müsste man jetzt noch den sehen. Die sind ja die drei, die den Dingens bekommen haben. Die versteckt sich im Dingens. Dann kommt das hier. Toko. Maus. Die hat dieses scheiß Ding da unten umgedreht reingesteckt. Und dann wird die wach und dann ist die Figur mit der Königin hier. Wird da aufgeräumt. Akt 5, sie ist wieder wach geworden. Muss ich dann eigentlich direkt das Ding ins geholt haben, ne? Aber hier ist jetzt gar nicht gesagt, dass sie sich das holt, ne? Also einfach, man sieht nur, die wacht auf und trinkt das. Aber keine Ahnung, ich denke mal, wird so richtig sein.
Here's exactly what
So.
happened.
BM X.
This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot. And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight.
Tudun, tudun.
Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked. Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toka. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear, she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. But in her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened, knew that she had committed suicide. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground.
War alles richtig einfach. Einfach alles richtig gemacht. Nice.
Replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort was you, Hina.
Completed. Da wird hier die Verpackung. Die 2077 €. Das ist ja einfach auf Französisch. Wenn ich nochmal die Seite aufstehe, dann steht da Verpackungssprache Englisch, lol, ey. So wie ich das bisher. Ja, läuft. Geil. Das ist sehr gut. Ich hoffe wenigstens, das Spiel selbst ist auf Englisch oder auf Deutsch.
Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right?
That's what happened? But Makoto, how did you manage to... How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Huh? Oh, well, I mean...
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated. That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case. See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back.
Schauen wir Serie weiter bis später. Ist gut. Ist gut. Bis später oder so. Guck mal, A, C, A. Läuft wieder. Ja. Ganz normal, ne?
Okay. I think we can all agree you made your point. Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You seriously forgot? I can feel my energy draining out of me. Well, whatever. You don't really have a choice anyway. You just gotta do it. Maybe you don't want to, but please grab your lever and cast your vote. So, who will be chosen as the blackened?
Also dann passiert jetzt nichts, weil Sakura ist ja schon tot, die kann ja nicht bestraft werden.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Guilty.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself. Okay, we're done here.
What did you say?
Oh, that's the whole truth, huh? I see. But there's still one thing I don't understand, Hina. Why did you try to cover up what happened? If the truth hadn't come to light, you would have died along with the rest of us. And yet why did you do that?
Don't be mean.
Yeah, we almost died here.
What is this?
Because that's exactly what I wanted. What? I mean, the reason Sakura died is because all of you pushed her into a corner. You all killed her. So that's why
You should have been the one
I
to
couldn't
die.
let her be the only one that died.
What?
You don't mean you were gonna take us all with you? We have to atone for our sins. Because everyone, even me, we all killed her. We all have to pay for our crimes. For serious? That's...
What is this?
You still don't understand? Then let me explain. You realize just how much despair Sakura was carrying with her when she died? Look at this. Such brutality has made me desperate. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I do it by my own hands. I found it on the ground in front of the rec room. It's Sakura's suicide note. Suicide note? Thinking back, I should have seen it coming. It was right after Genocide Jack had attacked me. Sakura got mad and stormed out of the nurse's office. I ran out after her and... Sakura, calm down. You don't have to worry about me. I'm fine. I can't calm down. I don't care if I suffer for this. It's my fault after all. But now you're suffering because of me. You tried to protect me yet, but because of me, my closest friend got hurt. Sakura, because of me, my friends are all going to kill each other. This is all my responsibility. Sakura thought she was responsible. She thought everything was her fault, which is why she wanted to find some way to get everyone to forgive her. She asked to meet with them. You ask to meet with those three? You can't. Don't you see how dangerous that is? Don't worry, I just want to talk to them.
But,
Talk about what? Listen, don't do it. If they all gang up on you at once, even you... Please don't think of things like that. They're not my enemy. They're friends. Sakura. She completely believed in all of us. If you just talked to her, you would have understood. She was a friend to all of us. And yet... You trembled all over her feelings, and then you did the unthinkable. Oh, that was just a misunderstanding.
what are you saying?
Don't stand there and call it a misunderstanding. She believed in you, and you wouldn't even listen to what she had to say. Without asking a single question, you tried to kill her.
I won't forgive you.
Do you have any idea how desperate she was seeing you act like that? That's what her suicide note means. Instead of waiting, I do it by my own hand.
Why?
That's how far you pushed her. Sakura, what happened to you? pain. Wait right here, I'll help you. Huh? So glad I got to meet you. What's wrong, Sakura? Why are you talking like that? A favor?
Some protein.
Could I ask you to... Yeah, you got it. Just hang on, I'll be right back. That was the last conversation I had with her. I went to the chem lab and get the protein she asked for. When I got there, I saw the powder. That's when I realized I saw that someone had taken from the poison shelf for Sakura. So I ran back to the rec room as fast as I could. But by the time I got there, it was already too late. Sakura, what did it mean? Please open the door. Why?
Why?
Why did she have to die? She had weaknesses just like any other person. If she got cut, she bled. If someone hurt her, she felt it. That's weaknesses. That's normal. And yet, you all blamed her. I tried to protect her and I suffered for it. And that just added the weight she had to carry. And I didn't even realize it. You know. We all killed her, all of us. We pushed her into a corner and we murdered her.
Why?
People like us shouldn't be allowed to live. That's why you tried to lead us astray. You did your best to make us arrive at the wrong conclusion during the class trial. Sakura died hating all of us. I wanted to free her of her regrets. But even that got found out. In the end, I wasn't able to do anything for her. I could never face her after this.
Hey!
I'm sorry to interrupt you right there where you're about to deliver the final tearjerker, but it's just taking so long. I'm about to fall asleep over here. I mean, do you really think you have any idea what Sakura was actually thinking when she died? What did you say? Everything you just said is nothing but your interpretation, right? Your own opinion on what her suicide note meant. Of course I know what she was thinking, cause her and me...
In other words...
Well, what I'm really trying to say is...
indeed.
Don't you think the entire foundation is shaky? What if it really was like this?
What the heck?
What is that?
Of course!
Isn't it obvious?
Yep.
Suicide note. Sakura's suicide note. What, Martina already?
Too bad.
I wrote that one. It was all me, baby. This is one Sakura addressed to Hina and put in her room. What? Können wir einfach Safti einfach hängen? Ich glaube, das wäre ein bisschen zu drastisch. Ich glaube, das wäre ein bisschen overreacted. You lied to me? Ja! Oh, don't you say a lie. It makes me sound so dirty. I just thought I live in things a bit up. I can't help it if you totally took my little scribbles at face value. I didn't even have Sakura's signature to it. You filthy little... I'm not filthy. I didn't do anything. Falsify evidence. Did I affect the outcome of the class trial? Das wäre nur fair. Ja gut, wenn Chat das so will, ne? Kann man nichts machen. The case played out between you and you alone. You were the ones jerking each other around. Heck, even if the will had factored in, it still would have been between you guys. And what's the problem? This is all part of the production process. Okay, and C, cut. Wir machen auch so ein Danganronpa Vote. So then, did she write in her real suicide note?
What are you gonna do?
I'm glad you asked, for your benefit. I shall read it using my melodic, angelic, harmonic narrator voice. But you know, haven't you ever been curious about the whole suicide note thing? Who came up with the idea of leaving a note when you kill yourself in first place?
Hold on.
And isn't it just so unfortunate? Killing yourself is just so final, you know. You can never hear the rest of the story. The truth is lost in the darkness. Gives me the willies.
Enough already.
Could you get on with it, please?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, geez, talk about the buzzkill. Alright, here we go. My good friend Hina, there's something I have to tell you. I hate to do it like this, but you need to know. This is my final wish.
As you know, I've been giving information to the one who's imprisoned you here.
It was our first night in the strange school that the mastermind came to see me.
The mastermind took control of my family's dojo and demanded I become their tool.
You might not see the importance of a dojo, but my family has watched over it for 300 years.
Let it be destroyed under my watch.
Warum ist ein Satz vertont und dann wieder ein Satz nicht vertont? Ich verstehe es nicht.
That's how I saw things.
However, that was my greatest weakness. And because of that, I made the mistake of giving in to the mastermind.
What the mastermind wanted from me was nothing less than murder.
Ja, ich glaube auch, ey. Der Voice Actor war zu teuer. They were probably worried that until the first murder had happened, nothing would move forward. But what neither the mastermind nor I expected was the incident involving Sayaka. At that point, the plan changed. The mastermind told me to hold off, to wait until we reached another stalemate.
However, as I lived here with all of you, as I lived here with Hina, my resolve began to weaken.
Watching everyone fight with such despair, trying so desperately to stay alive, I saw the weakness in my own heart, the mistake of succumbing to the mastermind, and more than anything,
betray those who would call me their friend.
That's how I came to feel. So that's why Sakura.
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Of course, because of that, I decided to reveal her secret, which made everyone else hate her. Her decision to stay true to all of you led directly to all of you hating her for it. Ironic, isn't it? Or maybe oxymoronic? Or just moronic?
Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness.
I'm perfectly willing to accept whatever attack you may want to make on me.
This is my atonement for betraying you. That's what I had in mind.
But unfortunately, that's not enough. This won't end with me accepting your hatred.
My own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me. Which is exactly what the mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal.
My betrayal brought suspicion, disharmony. The mastermind knew that eventually it would escalate into someone murdering someone else.
Of course, I'm still responsible for that as well.
I have an obligation to get this situation under control. And to fulfill that obligation, I've decided to do as the mastermind has commanded. I will do as I was told and commit murder.
I've decided the one I'm going to kill is myself.
If the mastermind demands that I kill someone, then someone will be me. Then my dojo will be safe, and above all else, none of you will have to kill anyone. When I die, the source of conflict among you all dies with me. For that, I'm willing to give up on my life.
Save you, then sacrificing my own life could have no greater meaning. Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends.
I've never had people like you in my life.
Huh?
Then Sakura didn't feel cornered. She didn't die hating us. She wanted to stop us from fighting, to protect us.
Correct.
She didn't end her own life because she was weak. Quite the opposite, in fact. She was strong, too strong. That's why she killed herself. She chose death for herself in order to protect the rest of us, to sacrifice so much. No normal person could do that.
However,
It was only her limitless strength that made that possible.
Finally, Hina, I want to apologize to you especially.
The reason I didn't tell you any of this is because I knew you would try to stop me. I'm really truly sorry. But please don't be sad. If I can thwart that mastermind's plan, if I can keep you from killing each other, that's enough for me. This is the path that I have chosen. This is the only way I have left to distinguish myself. And you can use this note to bring the class trial to a quick end. I'm sorry to ask you to do something so unpleasant, but I have to leave the rest to you. Please talk to Byakuya, Toko and Hiro on my behalf. I can't tell anyone about my plan while I'm alive, but I wanted you to understand why I'm doing this. In the end though, I hope to show myself through actions and not words. Hopefully then they'll see.
I never saw you as my enemy. You were only ever my friend, who I wanted to help as much as possible. Hina, whatever it takes, survive. Survive along with everyone else. No matter what, just survive.
But...
This... I didn't understand how she felt, not at all. I thought we were close and still...
What are you gonna do?
But in the end, all her meddling was like totally pointless. She died so you guys wouldn't try to kill each other, but you almost ended up doing it anyway. Thanks to you, her death had no purpose at all. In fact, it was because of her stupid meddling that the rest of you nearly bit the big one. She deserves all the blame. Everyone blame her. Go ahead, she deserves it. Ooh, now then, the next victim has been decided. What do you mean, the next victim? Nobody here blames anyone. Huh? First of all, you're in the wrong for tricking Hina with that fake suicide note. And plus, Sakura's death wasn't a waste. Because she made us remember. We're not enemies that hate each other. We are friends who need to work together. Damn straight. This is all because of our misplaced hatred. I don't blame her, I can't blame her, and nobody can blame Hina either. Whether or not there was a spy never really mattered, because the one we need to destroy is you, nobody else. What the heck? That's not how this is supposed to go. But anyway, are you sure about that? This killing game is a competition between all of you, remember? Your enemy is each other. He's absolutely right about that. Ah, lovely Byakuya, you understand, don't you? This is a life or death elimination match. The only way to survive is to win. There can be no doubt that those are the rules of the game. Which is why I am bowing out of the game.
Naturally.
Sakura and Hina were both willing to sacrifice their own lives to deny the reality of the game. Thanks to them, it would appear the others have cast aside their fear for this game.
Don't make me repeat myself.
There's no point in participating in a game which has lost that sense of excitement, which is why I will no longer be participating in it. What's going on here? Now I have only one thing to look forward to, and that is to heap the harshest possible punishment onto the one who thinks they can control me. Byakuya, does this mean? Don't misunderstand. I have been moved by some thoughtless sentimentalism, if that's what you're thinking. Where the master goes, I go, and if the mastermind turns out to be a guy, maybe I can catch on fire. Everyone. Well, now can you say that Sakura's death had no meaning? How boring, but nothing good can come of this. I'm still gonna be the one having the fun time.
What the heck?
The fun time? Anyway, let's forget about good for nothing backstabber and get back on track.
You want me to punish you guys?
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Punishment time. Wait, but Sakura was technically the killer, right? And she's dead. You're not gonna... Is it me?
Wrong.
Oh heavens no, just cause the Black Knight is dead doesn't mean I can just sub in whatever old student I want. Didn't I tell you? I'm very particular about the beard ×1 rule. Clear ×1. But I spent so much time preparing my special punishment, it will be a shame to let it go to waste. So for my special punishment, I've prepared a special guest. A special guest? Let's give it everything we've got.
It's punishment time!
Ach, der Laptop. Alter Ego. Excavator, Destroyer. Tsch. Außer am Ende ist ein Ball dann. Hä? Ja, nee, ist klar. You suck, man. You turned him into a mangled hunk of junk. You, that really took it out of me. Maybe I go grill up a plate of chicken. After all, they say for post-workout grub, chicken's where it's at. And I'm all about the grilled goodness. Fried, boiled. Give me a break. The color, the smell, the succulence. Grilled is where it's at. I realize how dangerous it could be, but still I have to do this. I'm scared, but I can't handle it. I don't really understand why, but when I think about everyone else, my courage starts to grow. You might think I'm just an inhuman AI, but it's true, so it's okay. It's for the sake of everyone. I won't be afraid. Alter Ego's words raced through my heart and soul, and my disbelief gave way to raw anger. The anger turned to fury, black and muddy and boiling over. It bubbled up through my body, quickly overflowing and shooting out of my mouth. How dare you? That was my friend. How dare you kill him?
What's the matter?
You were friends with that laptop? That's pretty pathetic. What's next? Friends with a basketball? Shut the hell up. He wasn't just a laptop. He was my friend. And you killed him. Is that what you call animism? Animism? Where a soul dwells within all things, even like laptops? Well, you can call it whatever you want to. Bottom line is, I got in my way. It was trying to find things out all sneaky.
Just as I thought.
So you finally noticed.
Actually...
Really? No. I knew about it from the very beginning. I knew Chiro was doing something with the laptop. And I knew you were using it to analyze data. I knew exactly how it was all gonna play out from the start. What?
What are you thinking?
You knew you were... And you were still cocky enough to let us take the plunge?
Yep.
Well, I mean, the data on the laptop, it was, I guess you could call it a gift from me to you. Or maybe more like a reward in honor of you being able to unlock something so difficult.
Hey,
So of course, I didn't care if you got access to that. But sneaking into the network was just too personal. So I had to do a little, you know, reformatting. I want to keep useful, I want to get everything out of here, yeah. Alter Ego wanted to fight for us. He wanted to help at the risk of his own life. And for that he was killed. Pooh, yeah, the punishment time has made me feel a billion times better. Experiencing a meaningless death is so soothing. It makes me remember that every low can get even lower. No, this death wasn't meaningless either. Everybody who's died so far, the deaths of each and every one of our friends, they all make us stronger. I swear to God, someday you will pay for this. Holy moly, you're super mad. Like, just unreasonable, upset.
well...
Okay, time to bring things to a close, but before that, I need to read the postscript.
What?
Postscript?
Yep.
Yet there's still a bit more left of Sakura's note. Huh? Ooh, do I have your attention? Okay, then here we go. Prepare your ears for the dulcet tone of yours truly. One other thing, Hina. There's something I'd like to tell to you to the others. Hopefully it will act as a clue to help you unravel the mystery of the school. What? A clue?
Hina.
I've spoken with the mastermind of, and on the whole time I've been there, so I've learned one thing, which is the mastermind has done something to us. I think what they've done is... Oopsie daisy, it was a close one. Another word and I would have been hit deep in spoiler territory. Okay, I don't want to ruin the surprise, so book club is dismissed for the day. What, you can't just stop at the most important bit? Makes your brain rumble and tumble, huh? It makes you so mad you don't even friggin' know, huh? That's the whole point, stupid. It's to get back at all of you for hardening your resolve. Fine, but at least Sakura's note. I can't ever let any of you Grease sports have it. But... sucks for you, loser. Wait, what's this? What is it now? There's one last line in the note. And let me just say this to the mastermind. I'm not going to just lay down and die. I will fight you, bastard. No matter what. And that's seriously it. Wow, what a stubborn loser, huh? She won't lay down and die, she will fight you? Well, whatever. Who cares what some dead musclehead has to say? Okay, I'm out of here. You guys should get some rest, you know? And maybe take some time to reconsider how you approach the school life of yours. Are you sure you don't want to graduate? Can you really cut free from the regrets of the outside world? Think about that. Think long, think hard. Those were his departing words for us before disappearing. But what was that all about? Sakura's final message, her last clue to help us solve the mystery of the school. The mastermind did something to us. Kyoko said something like that before, didn't she? It was after Celeste's trial was over. What did he do? What did he do to my body? Huh? Answer me. What did he do to my body? The masterminds did something to our bodies. What are you saying the mastermind did? What did the mastermind do to us? I mean, the mastermind planted a bomb in us or something? And if we try to leave the school, a sensor goes off and the bomb explodes? I've seen stuff like that in movies and comics and stuff, though it's not totally unheard of. No, I feel awful just thinking about it. I can't afford to acknowledge thoughts like that.
Yo.
Well, the class trial is over and Monokuma's gone.
But...
So what do we do now?
Yes.
What else is there other than to head back up? Oh yeah, okay, let's get out of here. But must still feel responsible. Dial back that ego a bit, girl. That kind of mystery someone like you could pose is absolutely no threat.
Not possible.
I would never have lost to that kind of challenge. What are you talking about? Kyoko and Makoto are the ones that figured everything out.
Stop talking.
Shut up. Seriously, I'm sorry. How many times do you plan to apologize? How about you make the last one? I haven't reached a point where I need someone apologizing to me more than once. Okay, I see what you mean. Then I'll try. Huh? That totally wasn't normal, right? Did you just capture his flag? No. I cannot suffer the existence of someone who would disturb the romance between me and Master. What are you talking about? That's absolutely not what's happening here. Why would I ever go for a sleazeball like him? Sleazeball? That's right, I called you sleazeball because you are sleazeball. Apparently you still have a death wish. Oh, more biting sarcasm. No wonder you don't have any friends. No. Hey, stop fighting with Master. You are making me jealous. I want the abuse, give and take. Me. I guess it's not so easy for everyone to act like friends. Well, that's just how it is for now. And so Sakura's class trial came to an end, and we returned to the world of Hope's Peak Academy. But the story wasn't even close to over. Time kept marching on. We all went back to our rooms, and before long, night snuck up on us. Ding dong, bing bong.
This as such.
It's officially nighttime. Nighttime descended and pulled me down along with it, down into sleep. I couldn't remember the last time I'd fallen into such a deep sleep, but the night still wasn't over for me. A voice. I could hear a voice. Wake up. Wake up. Huh? The voice dragging me from the deep slumber into hazy half-consciousness. My eyelids were like lead.
Kyoko?
Yes, it's me.
Huh? Kyoko?
I said yes.
So Kyoko's here.
Wait, what?
Kyoko? Huh? Kyoko? Bist du echt Kyoko? In a flash, I was wide awake. What are you doing here?
It's true.
I'm here to wake you up. Oh, I see. But wait, but my door. It was unlocked. You're unbelievably careless. It was unlocked? Are you serious?
Hey.
Always. You don't have to overreact like that every time you're surprised. What time is it? It is 3 o'clock in the morning, of course. It's 3 a.m.? Why was Kyoko waking me up at this hour? It's so late. What happened?
Makoto.
I have a favor I need to ask. A favor from me?
Makoto.
What's your favor?
So...
Remember what Sakura said in the end of a note? I'm not going to just lay down, I will fight you. I want to find out what she meant by that. Okay, but how do you plan to do that? Then Kyoko put her lips next to my ear and whispered, the data center on this fourth floor. What?
Goodbye.
I'll meet you there. Without another word, she was gone. But her words reverberated through my half-dazed head. The data center? But I thought it was locked. Jetzt muss ich da hingehen, oder was? Also das machen wir jetzt noch eben und dann gleich speichere ich ab und dann wechseln wir zu Kaiser drüber. Made my way into the after-hour school headed for the data center on the fourth floor. Eventually I wound up at the data center. When I arrived, Kyoko's not here. That's weird. She said she'd meet me. Maybe she's inside already? I put my hand to the door with a certain amount of force. Rattle, rattle. Didn't open. Tried again, but it must be locked. What was it? Kyoko said. The data center. The first 5 floor. What are you doing up, mister? God. Breaking into a locked room is incredibly prohibited, don't you know? Oh well, you're trying to tell me you didn't actually bust in yet, right? But I can see that, you adult. Don't waste my time telling me crap I can see for myself. It looked you might break in any second, so I just thought I'd give you a friendly reminder. Or are you gonna try and tell me you were sleepwalking or something? No, nothing like that. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, for crying out loud. Even I get tired, you know? Stop being weird and go back to bed. What's wrong now?
Just a second.
Why are you out here making a racket? Kyoko? Now you too? Whatever, the two of you just get back to bed. I'm positively exhausted from the class trial.
It's true.
Sure, you got it. Come on, Makoto, let's head back.
Hey.
Didn't you hear me? We are leaving. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
Shall we go?
Don't worry about it. Let's just... Okay. Yeah, go on. Get out of here. Choo choo. So we left and went back to our rooms. And then,
Goodbye.
so goodbye. Hold on. Listen, what was all that about just now? She woke me and made me go to the data center, which just happened so to be locked. And then she shows up late and we leave without checking a single thing. What was the point of all that? Don't worry about it. I figured that would be the end of our conversation, just like always, and then, well then, good night. Sure. And then that was over. But as I turned to leave...
Mukuro Ikusaba.
What? Kyoko was right next to me once again, whispering into my ear.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
The 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in the school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Watch out for her. Mm. Und dann taucht er noch links plötzlich neu auf. Ja. Es gibt einen 16. Studenten. Alter Lump Present. So, speichern wir ab. Und machen dann hier aus. Return to title. Yes. Danganronpa. Quit. Okay, okay. Ah, Junge. Ich werde mir dann jetzt eben was zu essen machen, nochmal kurz. Und dann spielen wir ein bisschen Kaizo. Spielt er noch? Nee, ne? Richtiger Hegel.
Das tut meinem kleinen Herz wieder ein bisschen weh.
Wollte nur mal reingucken, ob der noch zockt. Wie gesagt, ich gehe kurz eben was essen und dann bin ich gleich wieder da und dann spielen wir weiter. Dann spielen wir Kaizo. Spielen wir Kaizo.